You're watching another Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming. Your opportunity to learn the ins and outs of Podio design and development from one of the top Podio partners in the world.
Hey everybody, it's Jordan Fleming here with another Supercharged Masterclass, and today I'm going to dive into the basic Podio data structure. So this video is really about helping you understand how Podio's data is structured so that you can have a better understanding of really how to build Podio effectively using that structure. How are you going to take what you do in your business on a day-to-day basis and bring it into Podio? So we're going to dive into that. I'm going to show you a bit about the structure and talk a few best practices around that as well. Let's take a look. Let's talk about how Podio data is structured. I've drawn this out here just to give you a sort of visual idea around this. Essentially, Podio from the top down starts at the Podio organization, and that's usually, if you're not the person who owns the company, then it's usually been set up for you. You get invited into an organization. In the Podio organization, underneath that, you can have multiple workspaces. So you can have really as many workspaces as you want, although too many workspaces can lead to clutter and confusion. So, you've got to be careful about that. And workspaces are really there to be a collection of apps. And it's the Podio apps that are where the power are, because Podio apps is, it's how you lay out fields and decide, what data you are actually going to be capturing. And of course, inside of the apps are your Podio items. This is the actual data that you are working on, the data that you are capturing. I used to train in this when I used to introduce Podio to people inside of organizations and run Podio training days. I used to sort of liken it to Podio being like a house. So if you think about Podio as a house, the Podio organization is your house. Hey, are you using Podio to manage your real estate investment business? Wait! Click the link to find out why thousands of real estate investment professionals are using Podio plus smartphone to make more calls, send more text, and close more deals. Click the link. Inside your house, you have many rooms, multiple rooms, and those are equating to your workspaces. And inside of each of those rooms, you have apps. You have what I used to call as file cabinets. And inside of each file cabinet, you have a set of files, and those are your items, right? So your house has got lots of rooms. Inside of each room has a lot of file cabinets, and inside of each file cabinet, you have a lot of files. Now, this kind of goes to one of the other principles of Podio design, in my opinion, which is collecting apps inside of workspaces. So I will see a lot of times, particularly for new people who are building Podio for the first couple times, I will see them build out a ton of apps in one workspace. And I think that is a really bad practice. It leads to really terrible onboarding processes, because you end up having 50 apps in a workspace and you're having to, sort of train people on everything and be like, oh, ignore these 20 and only work on these 5. And if you think about Podio as a house, we collect things inside of our houses into rooms that have functions. So, our kitchen is where our stove and our oven and our, fridge freezer are, and our sink and all that. It's where our food is. We collect it there because the function of that room is to be a kitchen. Same as a bathroom, same as a bedroom, etc. We have functional uses to most of our rooms. And the same is true about Podio workspaces, in my opinion. You should have functional reasons to have a workspace. Okay, hands up who's using Podio for real estate and they don't want more leads. Nobody. You want more leads closed? Well, check out Smartphone for Podio, the only phone system fully built for Citrix Podio, with an fully integrated power dialer and our amazing mobile apps. It means wherever you are, you can make more calls, log to Podio, send more texts, log to Podio, and close more deals, all logged to your Podio CRM. Click the link. Check it out. And I'll show you some examples of that. So let's pop into Podio. Again, if you can't remember, your workspace and organizations are up here on the top left-hand corner. And do remember that you can search. But here is an example of exactly what I just talked about. A sign force here, in this case, is the organization. It's the house. And then we have a collection of rooms. We've got a collection of workspaces. And you can see that they are numbered and named as such to group them into functionality areas. So we've got CRM, we've got wholesale transaction manager, wholesale system configuration, inbound data, cold calling lists, formatter, commissions tracker. Those are functional areas, much like a kitchen is a functional room in your house. And if we look at one of those functional areas, we will see a set of apps. These are the apps we have built that work within this functional area. In this case, contact companies, emails, and communication. That's smartphones app to track our calls and text messages, voicemails, etc. Each side of each of these apps is, of course, our data. When we click on it, we can see we have 903 items, 903 files in this file cabinet. 903 bits of data that if I open up, I can go ahead and look at. Are you using Podio with CallRail? There's a better way. Click the link to find out why hundreds of businesses have moved over to using smartphone, the only phone system built for Podio. Make more calls, send more texts, and close more deals. Click the link. All of the bits of data that are around this one item inside this one app. So again, your organization has a bunch of workspaces. Those should be functional. Those should be grouped as functional workspaces, like rooms. Inside of each functional workspace, you have a collection of apps. Those apps are what your business processes are built off of. What type of information are we storing here? What process are we working on? What are we doing in here? They're laid out in apps. And then, of course, your actual data are laid out as items inside of those apps. And it's really important that you think of these things as functional areas, because otherwise it'll lead to a lot of clutter. Nothing I hate more than seeing a workspace with a lot of people working in it on a day-to-day basis and there being 35 apps. All it means is things are hidden away. They can't see them. It's hard to train people. There's a bunch of things they don't need. They've got to wade through. It is just bad design practice. So, disagree? Agree? Hit me up on the YouTube video. Drop in a comment. If you want anything from me to talk about in the future, you want to disagree, you want to talk about any issues I've raised in this video, just drop it into one of the comments. Please do hit subscribe to make sure you're notified of any other videos. And of course, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, give us a review, give us a share. The more we can spread the gospel of Podio, the better. Thanks very much.
Thanks for watching this Supercharged Masterclass with Jordan Samuel Fleming, CEO of Smartphone. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to be notified of new podcast episodes, Podio Masterclasses, and in-depth Podio extension reviews.